We have an issue with you with Facebook, so we're gonna
Just came up on YouTube.
awesome. We're good on YouTube. We're gonna make an adjustment to Facebook. So Facebook, just give us a moment. Come on in, invite a friend. Matter of fact, invite about 10 because we about to get the other folk up in. Boom. All right, now we're gonna try that string again. Oh yeah, we see the connection happening. We see it's on and popping. All right, let's see what IG is gonna give us. IG ain't gonna give it to us. That's to be expected from IG. Otherwise, that's why we got this joker set up right here. You can just pop, 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 pop in. Peace and love, kings, queens, and gods. As I always say, come on in, invite a friend. Matter of fact, invite about 10 because it's it's Floating Yogi's Book Club and we about to go in. Alright, so let's see. We got some fun stuff today. We got some fun stuff going on today, so I'm going to use this time for us to invite some folk in. What up? Welcome, 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 wow. Wow. Come on in, invite a friend. Matter of fact, invite about 10 because we about to go in this thing. We reading the four agreements and we're on the tail end of the four agreements. So while we get these other homies coming in the spot, I'm going to let you know a little bit about the people who help me do what I do. We got some phenomenal people. My dude Payola, he's part of the crew, a dimension where people are our greatest resource. And I strongly support these thoughts. I strongly believe that, and I hope you do too. We also got Brent LV. He'll get all your digital assets, your digital needs together. He'll have you streaming, looking good, sounding great, all those good things. Bop, 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 bop. And if you'd like to be a part of the book club, if you'd like to be part of the Zoom room, part of the Discord or the Discord server, go and drop your email in the chat, and Payo will be able to send you exactly how to sign up on the platform so you can get access to all the digital content we have. It's a bunch of free stuff. We got the book club tonight. We got midday meditation with breath work on Thursdays. We got free class Monday mornings. Just come on in. We all about creating healthy habits, and one at a time. What's up? Hey, what's up, Finn? I'm gonna just wave, and you could join the Zoom room, and we can figure out how to pronounce your name. I'm with it though. All right. No Facebook Live, and YouTube is going in and out. That is unfortunate. Good Lord. All right, fair enough. They ain't trying to get these messages out. What else we got? Oh, we also have MyFitDC. We're working with MyFitDC as well. Got a whole bunch of great programs as well. UE and MyFitDC, I encourage you to check us out. Also, we have Lifeform mats. Lifeform, they got some great non-stick, slip-resistant mats. They're going to get you in your practice, making your jump throughs a little bit smoother, a little bit more on point. And once you get those lessons, those moments of realizations of when the stress comes, when the anxiety kicks in, and how to utilize the breath to, instead of panic, reroute that energy to create more space, reroute that energy to figure out where we need to reach, where we need to press, where we need to move into within the body, because all of the strength that we're looking for is within. Those external stimulations, they ain't doing nothing for us. So once we get these lessons, once we get these things and these realizations, we gotta be able to take them off the mat and into our life. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We're taking it off the mat, talking about it, troubleshooting it outside of just that, the confines of those four square, that's a rectangle. I was gonna call it a square. All right, let's see. What up, Natalie? Natalia, what's good? All right. And we on the, like I mentioned, we on the tail end of the 4 agreements. You don't have to have the book. Just chop it up with us. All right. We're on page 93. 93. The Toltec Path to Freedom. Breaking old agreements. Everyone talks about freedom. All around the world, different people, different races, different countries are fighting for freedom. But what is freedom? In America, we speak of living in a free country. But are we really free? Are we free to be who we really are? The answer is no. We are not. On so many levels. But I'm going to leave that for the book to tell us about it. Freedom has to do with the human spirit. It is the freedom to be who you really are. Who stops us from being free? We blame the government, we blame the weather, we blame our parents, we blame religion, we blame God. Who really stops us from being free? We stop ourselves. What does it mean? What does it really mean to be free? Sometimes we get married and we say that we lose our freedom. Then we get divorced and we are still not free. What stops us? Why can't we be ourselves? How are we holding ourselves back? We have memories of long ago when we used to be free and we love being free, but we have forgotten what freedom really means. If we see a child who is 2 or 3, perhaps 4 years old, we find a free human. Why is this human free? Because this human does whatever he or she wants to do. The human is completely wild, just like a flower, a tree, or an animal that has not been domesticated. Wild. And if we observe humans who are 2 years old, we find that most of the time these humans have a big smile on their face and they're having fun. They're exploring the world and they're not afraid to play. That's the kicker right there. They're not afraid to play. Can one be free and grounded? Absolutely. I like that question. I'm going to finish this paragraph and I'm going to tap into the free and grounded. They are afraid when they are hurt. And when they're hungry, when some of their needs are not met, but they don't worry about the past. They don't care about the future, and they only live in the present moment. And that right there is what I think the freedom is. Not being in the past, not being in the present moment, not being in the past, not being in the future, and being in the present moment. I think you can be grounded and free, because grounded doesn't mean that you're not free if you want to be grounded. It's where you want to be. It's just a state, and we can choose how and when we enter and exit these states. The more discipline, the more self-control we have. Oh, I thought Tony was about to say something trifling. Okay. Fair enough. Good. That means I wasn't too trifling with it my damn self. Okay, very young.
I just got back.
What? What you talking about? I ain't even say nothing. What are you talking about?
I just got back. I'm gonna slide in with trifling.
Well, sometimes it be happening. Sometimes it's like you come in with the muddy boots, and it's like, hold up, no shoes on inside. We don't even have a vest for you to sit down and take your shoes off. Yeah, wet socks coming in. We got a dryer. You good? Anyway, moving forward. Very young children are not afraid to express what they feel. They're so loving that if they perceive love, they melt into love. They're not afraid to love at all. That is the description of a normal human being. As a child, we are not afraid of the future or ashamed of the past. Our normal human tendency is to enjoy life, to play, to explore, to be happy, and to love. But what has happened with the adult human? Why are we so different? Why are we not wild? From the point of view of the victim, we can say that something sad has happened to us. In the point of view of the warrior, we can say what has happened to us is normal. What has happened is just that we have the book of law, the big judge and the big victim who rule our lives. We are no longer free because the judge, the victim, and the belief system don't allow us to be who we really are. Once our minds have been programmed with all that garbage, we are no longer happy. I can see this. This chain of training from human to human, from generation to generation, is perfectly normal in human society. You don't need to blame your parents for teaching you to be like them. What else could they have? What else could they teach you but what they know? They did the best they could, and if they abused you, it was due to their own domestication, their own fears, their own beliefs. They had no control over the programming they received, so they couldn't have behaved any different. It's an interesting way to look at it. It's rather humanizing for the parent, and eye-opening for the ones that can make these changes and are making these changes. Daggone it, because we out here. There is no need to blame your parents or anyone who abused you in your life, including yourself. But it is time to stop the abuse. It is time to free yourself of the tyranny from the judge by changing the foundation of your agreements. It is time to be free from the role of the victim. The real you is still a little child who never grew up. Sometimes that little child comes out when you're having fun or playing, when you feel happy, when you're painting or writing poetry or playing the piano or expressing yourself in some way. These are the happiest moments of your life. When the real you comes out, when you don't care about the past or you don't worry about the future, you're childlike. But there is something that changes all that. We call that responsibilities. Dun dun dun. And the plot thickens. The judge says, wait a second, you are responsible. You have things to do. You have to work. You have to go to school. You have to earn a living. All these responsibilities come to the mind. Our face changes and becomes serious again. If you watch children when they're playing adults, you will see their faces change. Let's pretend I'm a lawyer. And right away their face changes and the adult takes over. We go to the court and that's the face we see. And then that is what we are. We are still children, but we have lost our freedom. We started playing that role, hopping into that role. Ooh. Too much. Putting on a different mask and kind of becoming a different person. Ooh, what we got going on over here? That's connected to why young children breathe with their bellies. Freedom, no existential fear, experiencing life totally. I support that. Belly breathing. Belly breathing is an interesting thing. A very relaxing thing. It's like you just chilling. Other times when you're real tight, the breath be in the chest. It be short, shallow breath. The freedom we are looking for is the freedom to be ourselves, to express ourselves. But if we look at our lives, we will see that most of the time we are doing things to please others, just to be accepted by others, rather than living our lives to please ourselves. That is what has happened to our freedom. And we see in our society and all the societies around the world that for every 1,000 people, 999 are completely domesticated. The worst part is that most of us are not even aware that we are not free. There is something inside that whispers to us that we are not free, but we don't understand what that is and why we are not free. The problem with most people is that they live their lives and never discover that the judge and the victim rule their mind, and therefore they don't have a chance to be free. The first step towards personal freedom is awareness. We need to be aware that we are not free in order to be free. We need to be aware of what the problem is in order to solve the problem. Awareness. Step one. You gotta know it's a thing. Awareness is always the first step, because if you're not aware, there's nothing you can change. What you gonna do? None.
Which is in direct conflict of what a lot of us do naturally, which is to blame first. And so by doing that, you're diverting your perception from ever pointing the finger back at yourself or looking for a direct route to change.
First thing you just, I'm not even trying to acknowledge that it exists, even if I see it. Don't paint it another color. If you are not aware that your mind is full of wounds and emotional poison, You cannot begin to clean and heal the wounds, and you will continue to suffer. There is no reason to suffer. With awareness, you can rebel and say, "This is enough." You can look you can look for a way to heal and transform your personal dream. The dream of the planet is just a dream. It is not even real. If you go into the dream and start challenging your beliefs, you will find that most of the beliefs that guide you into this wounded mind aren't even true. You will find that you suffered all of those years of drama for nothing. Why? Because the belief system that was put inside your mind is based on lies. We must get away from these lies.
He reminded me of Sadhguru when he started off because he said there's no reason to suffer.
I agree.
And in Sad's book, he was talking about how he had surgery without anesthesia or nothing on his open wounded leg, and there was pain, but he didn't suffer. That brought me right back to last year around this time, probably, to be honest.
Nah, I remember that, John. I remember, and that's not me. I hear you. That's powerful.
That's not you, though?
No, that's not me. I don't know. I mean,
Dude.
I'm not gonna sit there and have a chill conversation with someone, cutting into my leg. I'm not at that level yet. I'm just not there yet. I'm gonna call it how I see it.
Yeah, but you can't see it though. You have contortionist poses that would kill me, yo. My neck would snap, and you over here just chilling in it, making YouTube videos, and you can't see yourself.
With the bubble popped, with the bubble open, my body bubble.
Well, I just mean.
With my body.
Okay, wait. This is the difference in our perspectives, okay? Because you are light years, light dimensions beyond me in the practice of meditation and astral projection and Gnostic knowledge and unlearning, but I can understand and relate to Sadhguru's open leg injury story because I remember as a child doing a similar thing with pain. I wouldn't cry if I was alone because there was no point to it. Mm-hmm. And I realized that at some point. Every time you know how you get in trouble? You know how you get in trouble? Now, I don't believe that anymore, of course, by the way.
I was about to say, that's a savage thought process. I'm with it.
Yeah, man. That is. But I mean, that's part of the reason why I might be a sociopath. But anyway, glossing right over that. No, but I can't. I don't think I can have an open leg surgery at all. But I feel like I've already gone down the road of separating mind and body, or separating awareness, or being able to control. So if there was $1 million in prize money on the line, and I had 6 months, I think I can make it happen.
Now, if someone was telling me not to scream for $1 million, I could fight a feeling for $1 million. How long is the surgery? Is it $6? 6 minutes? Doug get fresh and I'm on? Come on now.
See, and that's the difference in our thought processes, though. Because you're when I brought up side, you was like, "Oh, I'm nowhere near," or "That's not me," or yada yada. But you're light years ahead of me. But I still feel connected to that material enough to be yeah. not tomorrow, but yeah.
And the guy, it didn't not hurt, and it's not supposed to not hurt. That's the other part. I don't have the need to have myself cut open. So I'm gonna try to keep it that way. I'm gonna keep my body bubble intact.
Pain isn't bad, and I've never thought of pain as bad, but I've always thought of pain as having purpose. And once
Yeah.
you understand the purpose, it's easy to control your reaction to it.
Yeah. Yeah. What's it trying to tell me? Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. We're here. We're here. That's kind of how I be with my knee sometimes. I'm like, nah, it doesn't feel good. Well, you said your knee hurts, but you're doing this really crazy pose. It
Mhm.
does. Well, why are you doing the pose? Because it doesn't not hurt when I don't do it. So just keep doing what I've been doing. It'll feel a little bit better too when I finish. I got more mobility. Oh, well, you sure you want to do that? You might hurt yourself. And that's the fear seeping in. Let's move forward. I think they're going to talk a little bit more about that. With this mind poison that they're talking about. The worst part the worst part is that most of us are not even aware that we're not free. There's something inside that whispers to us that we're not. I already read that. Okay.
That's why it's important for you to master your own dream. I came into after the paragraph for "There's no reason to suffer." We finished that paragraph.
There is no reason to suffer. That is why it's important for you to master your own dream. Dang, right on point. Thank you. That is why the Toltec became dream masters. Your life is the manifestation of your dream. It is an art. And if you change your life anytime, and you can change your life anytime if you aren't enjoying the dream. Dream masters create a masterpiece of life. They control the dream by making choices. Everything has consequences, and the dream masters are aware of those consequences. To be Toltec is the way of life. It is the way of life where there are no leaders and no followers, where you have your own truth and you live your own truth. Toltec becomes wise, becomes wild, and becomes free again. There are three masters that led people to become Toltecs. The first is the mastery of awareness. This is to be aware of who you really are with all the possibilities. The second is the mastery of transformation. How to change, how to be free from domestication. Or how to just change yourself. The third is mastery of intent. Intent from the Toltec point of view is that part of life that makes transformation of energy possible. It is the one thing, it is the one living being that seamlessly encompasses all energy, or that we call God. Intent is life itself. It is unconditional love. The master of intent is therefore the master of love. The master of intent. What's your intention behind this transformation?
I could totally see that. I could totally see that because at some point I judged people's actions based on their intentions. Actually, I guess I kind of do now too, because I still have that argument sometimes when people are like, "I judge you based on what you do, not what you say." And I'm like, but no matter what faith you are, self-discipline is lacking in most people. So what they do doesn't always line up with their desire.
Yeah.
So like I can completely understand because you can't love without self-discipline. That's why guys have the stigma of cheating and breaking women's hearts. You can't love without self-discipline because cheating, although you may love that person, breaks trust, breaks love, doesn't help love, hurts the connection. Like it's obviously a detriment to it. So although you can love and cheat, they can't coincide.
I support
Self-discipline.
results.
Intention.
Yeah. The intention behind it. Nah, I support those thoughts. 1,000%. Ooh. Ooh. If we look at the description of a parasite, we find that a parasite is a living being who feeds off of other living beings, sucking their energy without any useful contribution in return, and hurting their host little by little. The judge, the victim, and the belief system fit this description very well. Together they comprise a living being made of psychic or emotional energy that is energy is alive. Of course, it is not material energy, but neither are emotions material energy. Our dreams are not material energy either, but we know they exist. What up, though? Welcome to the IG. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to Facebook. I'm the Floating Yogi. This is the Floating Yogi's Book Club. We vibing. We reading the 4 Agreements. Come on in. Invite a friend. Matter of fact, invite about 10, because we got us going in. Also, thank MyFit DC and Lifeform. Brent LV. Woo woo woo. And thank P.O. too. Ooh ooh ooh. Okay, moving forward. One function of the brain is to transform material energy into emotional energy. Our brain is the factory of the emotions, and we have said that the main function of the mind is to dream. The Toltecs believe that the parasite, the judge, the victim, and the belief system has control of your mind. It controls your personal dream. The parasite dreams through your mind and lives its life through your body. It survives on the emotions that come from fear and thrives on drama and suffering. The freedom we seek is to use our own mind and body to live our own life instead of the life of the belief system. When we discover that the mind is controlled by the judge and the victim and by the judge and the victim, and the real us is in the corner, we have just 2 choices. One choice to keep living the way that we are, to surrender to the judge and victim, to keep living in the dream of the planet. And the second is to do what we do as children when our parents try to domesticate us. We can rebel and say no. We can declare a war against the parasite, a war against the judge and the victim, a war for the independence, a war for the right to use our own mind and our own brain.
Man. Ooh.
I know that was a rough metaphor.
Well, let me tell you, it wasn't a metaphor at all for me.
Yeah. Analogy. My bad. Go on.
As early, or it wasn't an idea either. It was a prophecy or speaking into my past history straight up. As early as I can remember, the phrase "better safe than sorry" was one of my mother's favorite phrases. And to me, it always meant, let's see how sorry I could be. Like, I don't think I was ever, ODD, obsessive, defiance disorder or nothing like that. Mm. But because my mother was an overly cautious woman and my dad was a stoic who raised me to question everything, her saying better safe than sorry always let me know what she was unwilling to do. Or it let me know her perspective on the situation, but it always encouraged me because it gave me more knowledge. And because I had more knowledge, however safe I was going to be, I could be safer now and more reckless. Because now I knew her perspective on, I'm telling you, the way I manipulate my own mind from childhood is insane. I'm gonna write a book. I need to write a book, but yeah. So
get these that's on paper.
so like I'm saying, like when he says, what we do when children and parents try to domesticate us, we rebel and say no. We declare war against the parasite, a war against the judge and the victim, a war for independence. Like, yeah, it's like, okay, I'm going to take that knowledge and I'm going to strategically implement it to the deepest crevices I can. And we're going to use some motivation and have some intent of freedom behind it. Like every bit of freedom.
I just hope it's a good hill that we choose to go out on. What's going on, bro?
The hill of knowledge.
Good. Okay.
Were you gonna say something, Brent? Come on. He wants to.
I don't know. I just feel like that's such a cool thing. I think it relates to just people. Like, just once you decide that you're going to develop a discipline for yourself. I mean,